In the late 13th century, Anatolia was in turmoil. The once mighty Seljuk Empire had crumbled under Mongol invasions, leaving behind a patchwork of small fragile states. Villages were burned, rulers fought for power, and the people lived in fear. But in this chaos, Allah's plan was unfolding. Far from these ashes, a new power would rise, one that would shape the world for centuries to come. In 1299, a chieftain named Usman, son of Artul, declared his independence from weakened Seljuks. Usman was no ordinary leader. His followers saw in him courage, justice, and deep faith in Allah. He promised not just survival, but a vision of state built on honor, discipline, and the unifying banner of Islam. His people would call themselves the Ottomans after Usman's name. Usman and his warriors began striking at Byzantine lands on their borders. They were few in number but fierce in spirit. Each victory brought new land, new soldiers, and new believers in Usman's cause. The tiny principality that began as a single stronghold started to spread like fire across western Anatolia. Usman's dream was becoming reality. When Usman passed, his son Orhan carried the torch forward. In 1326, Orhan captured the city of Bursa. The first great Ottoman capital, Bursa was more than a military win. It became a center of trade, culture, and faith. With market bustling, mosque rising, and scholar teaching, Usman now had a permanent home, a base from which to expand further. Orhan's son Murad I expanded the empire even more boldly. He created the Janissaries, an elite army unlike anything the world had seen. Trained from childhood, disciplined, loyal only to the Sultan, the Janissaries became the sword of empire. With them, the Ottomans pushed deep into Balkans, defeating powerful European kingdoms and securing their place as a rising force. The victories came one after another. Thrace, Macedonia, and Bulgaria fell under Ottoman rule. To the people of Europe, the Ottomans were unstoppable. A storm from the east to the Muslims, they were a beacon of unity and strength. The once small tribe of Osman now stood as true empire. In 1432, a boy was born who would change history forever. Mehmed, son of Murad II. From a young age, he studied science, strategy, and the Quran. He dreamed for conquering Constantinople, the greatest city in the world, a city that Muslims had long sought but never captured. Mehmed too believed has destined to fulfill the Prophet ﷺ prophecy, verily Constantinople shall be conquered. What a wonderful leader will its conqueror be, and what a wonderful army will that army be. In 1453, at just 21 years old, Sultan Mehmed II, later known as Mehmed the Conqueror, marched on Constantinople with a massive army for 53 days. The city resisted, but Mehmed cannons shattered the mighty walls, and his determination broke the spirit of its defenders. On May 29, the city fell. Constantinople, the jewel of Byzantium, now belonged to the Ottomans. Never entered the city humbly, giving protection on its people, and prayed in the great Hagia Sophia, which was transformed into mosque. But Mehmed didn't just take a city, he gave it life again. He rebuilt its markets, repaired its streets, and invited scholars, craftsmen, and traders from across the world. Muslims, Christians, and Jews all lived under Ottoman's protection. Constantinople was reborn as Istanbul, the capital of a new world, power standing proudly between East and West. The Ottomans saw themselves not only as rulers but as servants of Islam. The Sultan carried the responsibility of protecting the faith, defending Muslims, and spreading justice. Their empire grew not just through armies but through their commitment. The laws of Allah and the spiritual foundation made them stronger than their enemies could ever imagine. The Ottoman system of justice became famous under the Qadis and Islamic judges. Both Muslim and non-Muslim found fairness in the courts. Christians and Jews paid a small tax but were free to worship, trade, and thrive. Farmers worked their lands, merchants crossed borders, scholars wrote books, all under the watchful order of Ottoman law. From the deserts of Arabia to the mountains of Balkans, people of every culture and language became part of empire. Turks, Arabs, Persians, Greeks, Armenians, and Kurds all lived under one flag. The diversity did not weaken the Ottomans, it gave them strength, allowing them to draw from many traditions and tenets while maintaining loyalty to the Sultan. By the mid 15th century, the Ottomans were no longer a small frontier tribe. They had conquered mighty empires, seized legendary cities, and crafted a home for millions of people. Europe feared them, the Muslim world admired them, and the Ottomans stood at the dawn of Golden Age, an age that would soon make them the most powerful empire on earth. Please stay tuned for the part 2 coming soon.